everybody, how you guys doing? This is Yvonne, and I'm here today to share with you a beautiful project of a card with actually a part inside that you can open up. It just makes it a little bit different than a regular card, and it is simple. Beginner can do this, but it's also so elegant. So the recipient that's going to get this is going to say, wow, you put a lot of work in this card, but yet it's so simple. So stick around because I'm going to show you how to make this. And what you'll need to get this going is you're going to need to have an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock for the base. And what you're going to need to do here is, I found it simpler to grab my scoreboard, which in this case it's my Stampin' Up, but I mean, just grab a scoreboard. You can fold it manually, but I found it easy to do it this way. I would put it 4 1/4 here, and I score it right in the center, the long way, and then I score it right in the center, and in the short way, and then the long way here, I will go to 5 1/2, like this, and score it this way. So now you have 4 quarters, like this. Okay, so you following me so far? Not very hard, is it? Very simple. So now what you're going to do is you're going to cut off one of the squares. So now this is where my cutter comes in handy. You can cut this with scissors if you like. And if you find it hard to see, you can just make sure that your fold is nice and tight, and you line it up with your score. And you are going to cut up to the center fold right there. So you're going to cut it until you get to the center, which is right here. And then I'm going to turn it over. Oh, it's time for me to change my blade. I can see it. And I'm going to do it all the way going down. So I end up with a piece of cardstock doing this. Now my blade, I'm going to have to touch that up. My blade is getting pretty nasty, if you ask me. So, but if this happens to you, it's not a big deal. Just, you can do 2 things. You can take I thought I had one here, but maybe I don't. You can take a blade, not a blade, but a typical file, and you can just rub it quickly like this, and it'll take all that shredded ends off. You can tell on the counter here it's all coming off. It's simple. And that's because my blade, I've been doing a lot of cutting those last couple of days, and I didn't think about it. So, just like that, you end up having a card that looks like this. Okay? So, next thing that you're going to do is, so now you have a card, you have a cardstock that looks like this, and that makes your card. Now you can do it, this one here is done on the reverse, but that's okay too, because it's whatever you like. Now what you're going to do on this particular part is I cut out 1/4 inch on the 3 sides. I found that to be quite helpful, and I find that it makes a nice insert. So I go to my first line right here, and I cut down from the center line, and then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go 1/4 inch here, and cut down from the center line down. Whoops, I missed that one. I'll snip it with scissors. And then you do the end like this. Okay, it's that simple. And all you do after is you take your little scissors, you take your scissors, and you just cut off the edge like that. And as you can see, I didn't cut far enough here, so I'm just going to do this with scissors. So you can cut with your scissors. You don't have to take a cutter. All right, so now my card is done. I have my 3 sides, and the card's going to be like this. So the recipient's going to open it like this and like this. Okay, now we put this aside. Now we're going to do the panels. And what I like to do in the panels, I'm just going to use a different pattern today than this one here, but I'm going to do the same concept of the card. All I do at this point is I'm going to cut 4 pieces of matte, 4 pieces like this yellow piece right here. I'm going to cut 4 of those, and that's going to be a 5 1/4, I'm sorry, by 4. So 4 panels like that. So I'm going to go 5. So now I have 4 base panel, and these base are going to fit right on top of here. Now I have a package of 6 by 6 papers, and I chose the flowery stuff here. So now I want to have a layer on top of this. So I'm going to cut myself 4 pieces, but the 4 pieces are going to be 5 inches by 3 3/4. So 5 inches by 3 3/4. I need 4 panels like that. Okay. So now I have 4 panels and 4 layers. So my first layer, I'm just going to adhere all these pieces onto the back. First, I'm going to put the second layer on top of the first layer. And you can attach this with clear glue if you like. You don't have to use running tape like I do, but it's up to you. And this is a card that goes fairly fast, and it looks like you put a lot of work into it, but in reality, it's really not too bad at all. Oops, this one. No, I got that one. And there's 2. Now, some of you I know like the liquid glue because it gives you a chance to set it more in the center before it grabs on. Because this glue here, if you have it crooked, it's very, very hard. Unless you put the heat gun to it, it's very hard to take it off without ripping your first layer, the base. I call it the base, but your base is actually it's your card itself. So this is as easy as it goes. So there you go. So now I'm going to adhere it to this. So I'm just going to quickly add some adhesive on the back, and I'm going to add this. So each panel has a bit of a border to it. That. And you're going to put one in the back and the 2 inside. It makes a really sturdy card too, because obviously you're doubling up everything, but it's so pretty. If you're new to my channel, I make a video, I post a video every Monday. I'd love to have you as a member of my Facebook group, and I would love for you, Facebook group, YouTube, so I'd love for you to click on that little subscribe, and don't forget to ring the bell, so then you'll have notification whenever I post a video. Sometimes I'll post 2, but in most cases it's only 1. And another thing too, if your paper is directional, make sure that you know this one here really doesn't matter. The flowers are going all over the way, like different ways. So but if you have a paper that has a direction going up, make sure that you cut it in order to go up. So now I have my card like this. Okay, there's my card. Now I need to fill this one up. So this one up, to do this one, I just do exactly what I did here, except I cut it a little smaller, obviously. So if my memory serves me right, this one here is 5 1/4 by, shouldn't be 5 1/4, or should it be? 5 1/4 by 3 3/4. 5 1/4 by 3 3/4. Okay, so I'm going to cut a base for that. I'm going to cut 2 of them. So that's going to be 5 1/4. So what I did is I cut 2 panels for the inside flap, and the inside flap will be 5 by 3 1/2. Okay, so I could adhere that now, or I could adhere that after I cut the paper, but I'm just going to just do this first. It doesn't matter either way because you're going to center the other piece into this piece also. There's one. You can see that it goes really fast. It's not a project that is hard to do at all. Have you been creating? Have you guys been starting to think about Christmas? Christmas is coming a lot quicker than you think. Next thing you know, you'll be mass producing your Christmas cards. I know the fall there's Thanksgiving and there's Halloween and all kinds of good stuff first, but it still makes it to be a busy time of year when it comes September. Okay, so now I have my two bases. I am going to cut two more pieces to fit in there, and in order to do that, I'm going to cut it so now I'm going to center this piece, and the measurements for this is 1/4 inch smaller than this one here. So if this one here is 5, this one here will be 4 3/4 by 3 1/4. I'm just going to add that in here. I'm going to add the other one on the other side, just like so. Just like that. Okay, so now we have our 4 panels all done up, and it looks exactly like this. So then all you need to do is decorate it. And you can use whatever you have in your stash to decorate it. And at this point, I used from Stampin' Up!, I used Celebrate Sunflowers. And I used the sentiments that were here. I used from the first one inside, I said, let's celebrate you. And as you open the panel here, it says, congratulations on reaching a whole new level of wonderful. So that could be for retirement. It could be for a birthday party. It could be for promotion. It could be like, it just opens it up to a variety of occasions because of the sentiments being so open. It doesn't specifically say a certain party or happy birthday or something like that. And I added some gems on the flowers here just to add it. And what I did is I stamped the sunflower and I colored it with my Copic markers, cut off the 3 leaves. Oops, I'm off camera here. I cut off the 3 leaves that are right here, and I cut them, fussy cut them around, and I just added 3 leaves here, fussy cutted the sunflower and added it there, and there you go. You have a beautiful card with a sentiment. It's nice. It can be mailed, regular mail. It's not too thick, and it works for that. Now this one here is a whole different pattern altogether. I'm obviously not going to put the sunflowers in, so I chose the jar of flowers, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to grab onto this particular flower here. I'm going to print that and embellish the whole card. So basically I wanted to show you how to make the card, and that was the most important. So you take a piece of 8.5 by 11, you fold it 4 ways, then you cut off a piece here plus 1/4 all the way around here, and you have yourself your card that is simple as that. So I hope you've enjoyed this little tutorial, because it's just a different way of making a card, and it makes it fun. So for now, I'm going to let you go, and I will be back next Monday with a new technique, maybe a new card, a new fold. I don't know. I just make cards every day, so whatever inspires me that I think you would enjoy, I put it on video. If you have questions or you have suggestions, please feel free to put them in my comments. I'd love to hear from you guys. This is Yvonne, and I'm going to let you go, and have yourself a wonderful week, and be happy. That's what matters.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time.